Halloween candy?
Well, one Toronto school is telling parents to keep the sweets at home. If your child brings, say, a Kit Kat, Skittles, or chips
Skittles.
even, they'll be sent right back, which is good for parents but not great for the kids. And this rule follows the Halloween costume ban at a Port Colborne school that happened this year.
Yeah, two different things, but kind of the same, because it's Halloween. Joining us now from our Queen's Park studio is parenting writer and blogger Samantha Kemp-Jackson. Samantha, if this had happened when you were a kid, what would the reaction be like from you and from your parents? No candy at school.
I think that there would be a load of parents going down to the school and there'd be a lot of trouble. This is craziness. No candy the day after Halloween? That's insane.
Wait, you're saying that as a parent too? Because let's face it, the parents like
I'm saying it as a parent, as a former child, and as a reasonably sane person. It is insanity. It's craziness, and I think we need to stop the insanity. I really do.
Okay, so Samantha, there's a number of schools popping up across, say, North America that are saying, you know, we want to ban sweets. We don't want kids to bring sweets. And if those children end up eating healthier, and because they're taking less sugar, their behavior is better, and they can learn more, isn't that a good thing that the school's prepared to be the bad guy here?
Look, you know what? I think that this is political correctness on steroids. I also think that it's too much of a big brother situation for my liking. Parents are the ones who are supposed to be responsible for their children. It's not the school administrators, it's not the teachers, and it's not the principals. I think most parents are reasonable about what they give their children. I think they're reasonable and they know their kids best. If you give your kid a little Kit Kat in their lunch, or you give your kid a chocolate in their lunch, it's not a big deal. Now, if you see that that a child comes to school with a box full of candy, then yes, that's perhaps an opportunity for a teacher to talk to a parent individually.
But how would you determine that? I mean, you'd have to open up the kids' lunch. Come on, let's see. Oh, empty your pockets. You got 64 Reese's peanut butter cups there, kiddo.
Yes.
We're going to allow you to have 3. How's that? I mean, where do you draw the line? And that's the thing. You either allow the sweets that day and just say that November 1st is a write-off at school. The kids aren't going to learn anything. They're going to dress up in their costumes. They're going to eat the candy. Let's write that day off. Or you're going to say, nope, sorry, you had your fun the day before. Now it's back to business, no candy at all.
Well, here's the thing. The fact of the matter is, if you say that there's no candies on November 1st or any other time, kids are going to bring candies anyway, especially on November the 1st. Now, we all grew up in the 70s, 80s, 90s. We all had candy on November 1st, the day after Halloween. We all got a little bit of a sugar high, perhaps, but we are all fine and we're functioning adults now. I think that it's very cruel, very mean, and ridiculous, and the height of political correctness to ban candies on November 1st or any other day at any school.
And the word ban in school is becoming more and more familiar. You know, as every holiday goes by, I feel like it's being put under magnifying glass, and it's like what needs to be removed from our typical, the way we celebrate these events every year because we don't want to offend anybody. And yet, if a school decides to do it, what does a parent do? I mean, I know one parent was going to send their kid to school in a costume, even though the children weren't supposed to. So they're kind of using their child in that case, which doesn't seem fair. As a parent, what can we do when the school makes a decision that we're not willing to support?
Well, you know what? As parents, I applaud that parent who sent their child, because I think it's an act of civil disobedience, and you're teaching your child early that it's important to stand up for what's important. But also, I think in the larger sense, we need to go down to the school, we need to contact the educators and tell them where we stand, that we're not going to stand for it, and that it's silly and it's not fair to the children. So if we as parents are given a rule or an edit by a school board or an administration, we should tell them that we don't agree. And if there's enough of a groundswell of parents disagreeing with the school boards, I think the school boards will listen. I think in that particular case in, I think it was Welland or Port Colborne. Yes, I think there was a mom who stood up against the school board, and from what I understand, she had planned a parade outside the school, and she herself was sending her child to school in a costume, and as were other parents. I don't know what occurred, but I applaud her for doing that, because I think these things have gotten way out of hand.
Okay, so So a few years ago, there was a school in Hamilton, and it banned parents from taking pictures and videos of their kids, and it was during a holiday concert. The kids were singing, and they said, no, you can't take pictures. So now we're going from no candy, no costumes, no taking pictures, and I'm assuming these are young kids anyway, but even if they're high school kids, to not take pictures of your kids because of the worries of social media, that something's going to be posted with a snide remark or whatever, or bullying. Is this the new reality, that this is what parents have to deal with now? That the schools really have to be so strict because they're concerned that they're going to be part of this problem of kids spying on each other, or one kid saying, you know, I don't like that costume, or that's offensive to my culture, or whatever. This is it? This is our new reality?
I think it's absolutely ridiculous, Mark. The thing about not taking pictures at a school concerts, for heaven's sake, this is where we get our memories. This is what we take to look back on when our children are grown, to say, look, this is when you were in grade 5, this is when you were in grade 3. It's the parents' responsibility to hold on to those digital images, those memories, those videos, and if those videos get out to a place where they don't want them to get out, then that's the parents' responsibility. It's not for the school board and the administration to make that decision. Same thing with costumes. For heaven's sakes, this is like the height of political correctness and meanness. It's like Ebenezer Scrooge not having a child wear a costume on Halloween. That is ridiculous.
Okay, we've got 30 seconds left. And speaking of Ebenezer Scrooge, Christmas is fast approaching. We've heard rumblings in past years about no trees, no Christmas concerts. What do you think is going to happen this year?
I think there's going to be a pushback from parents because I think we're sick and tired and we're not going to take it anymore. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy to celebrate all cultures and religions, but I don't want my Christmas taken away.
That's parenting writer and blogger Samantha Kemp-Jackson. Thanks for joining us, Samantha. Have a great weekend. And hey,
you too.
I don't want to see you eating your kids' candy.
I'm going to be stuffing my face tonight.
Thanks. Have a great weekend.
You too.